Welcome back to the X-1 Legion cast. I'm Randy, and I opened a pack of Magic before this, and I got enough cards to pay for the pack, so I'm already really happy. Mitchem's not going to bring me down today. I got Matt and Mitchem, and we have a special guest here today with us.
How's it
Special?
going?
I don't know.
Friend of the show?
That's up to you. If you want to call me special, I'll take it.
I feel like the way I said it didn't make it seem like a positive statement, and I meant it as a positive statement. We have Richard Lavery joining us today. You might have heard his dulcet tones on another little show called Crit to Block. So he's going to help us crit to block today. But yeah, how are you doing, Richard?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here over in North Carolina, and I'm honored to be on. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's definitely do it before we all get snowed on.
Yeah. Snowmageddon is pending this upcoming weekend. We're projected for like 15 inches in Raleigh, North Carolina. So let's go.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's great.
Whatever. It's not going to snow, but that's just me being cynical. So
he's a snow truther.
Well, I think the only thing Oklahoma weathermen know how to predict is tornadoes. I think anything else is just a crystal ball that they just look into. So
fair enough. Well,
now I can't say anything about North Carolina, but hey,
listen, predicting the weather is just throwing sticks up the sky and seeing where they fall on the ground.
Hey, I got a rock outside. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's dry, it's sunny.
There you go.
If it's shadow, then it's overcast. If it's swaying, then it's windy. Boom, that's all you need.
His views do not represent the rest of the podcast. This is I believe in weather.
I'm a simple man.
Like the stuff they do, like 100 years ago, they would have been considered like literal magicians, like black magic.
I said we know how to track tornadoes, which is pretty amazing considering how hard those are to track. So like during storm watching and storm chasing season, fantastic. Like I've watched streams and like those storm chasers, I would never do that, and I've watched Twister. I haven't watched the second one, and I live in Oklahoma, so I'm like part weatherman, like we all are, So it's fine. It's fine. But anything that's not between April to like August, I don't listen to them. So that's just
if the rock is covered in snow, that means it's snowing.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, that actually means it's balmy and nice outside.
There you go.
I also went to a university that has a really good weather program as well, and a meteorology program.
Well, speaking of snow, Mitchell, there are snowtroopers in Empire,
yes,
which we're going to be talking about today. We are kicking off a little faction primer series here leading up to Adepticon. So over the next 5 episodes, each one will feature a faction / force possibly, and a guest to help us discuss it. And Richard here knows a thing or two about playing some Empire.
Yeah,
supposedly.
So if we consult
we're going to find out.
Yeah,
allegedly.
The scientific table is Longshanks. He is the number 2 rated Empire player in the world on the planet Longshanks.
Everyone know Longshanks is as accurate as Oklahoma weatherman at predicting snow, right? I'm just kidding. Cannot reverse derail it.
It's okay. It's not old Elo, but it's what we got to go with.
Yep.
All right, let us use our divining rod to get us back on the rails here and go to our tried and true hobby harassment. Gentlemen, it is a new year. How are we doing? Matt, how far are you on 100 and something minis?
So I actually was telling the guys earlier today, my wife, who does not listen to this podcast, somehow decided to listen to this podcast. And then she was like, why did you say you were going to paint that many minis? Like, you're never going to paint that many minis. So I'm already getting harassed at home. So the harassment starts at home. I have primed since the new year. I know priming is not painting. I've primed like 65 Empire core. So we're working. we're working our way there. I built my last unit of riots, so I don't know what I'm gonna run for Adepticon yet, so I'm like in a holding pattern, like getting everything slowly, and then once I decide, I'm gonna actually commit to hobbying. So
he's almost started, guys.
yeah, I've almost started. To answer your question, no.
Amazing.
Yeah. What day is it?
It's the
How many
20th.
20.
Oh, I'm already 6 behind. It's okay. We're fine.
I think that's my AT-STs in the background too, over your
It's in a
right
box.
shoulder in the box over
it's
there.
in a box.
So,
yeah.
eventually we'll be in the same place at the same time and we'll get together. I have been working on a secret painting project actually. That I'm not going to say. There might be hints behind me over my shoulders that are kind of blurry, but I'm hoping
Pause
to have...
1 second.
Yeah.
Pause 1 second. Did you clean up the floor of your office because someone on YouTube called you out for your dirty office?
I didn't know it was that dirty. Is it that
funny.
bad? I mean, I took out the trash.
Thank you, YouTube commenter, for bullying him. I'm glad the bullying has extended beyond hobby into like his general life.
Just, I mean, I got my case. I got 2 other lats here. So you can see there's 2 lats right there. There might be a third on my desk over here.
Where did you get a third lat? They're impossible to find.
Well, you could run 3 and 2/12, Richard. So I needed to fill.
I understand, but I can't even find a second for my Stormtrooper battalion right now, and you have a
People
third?
just give Mitchem stuff. They just gave him people just gave him lats.
That's crazy.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, well, roll it back. There's a guy in our local community. He posted up. He was like, "Hey, I'm trying to look." He had bought just everything back in the day, and just when it came out, he bought it. Didn't matter what faction. And so now he's like, I don't play the game that much, so he's piecing it off. And he posted it in our Discord, and I saw a lat, and I was like, I could use a third one. I was thinking it would be my second one, because I thought this red one down here was not going to be able to be put back together as well, but it was. So now I have 3. So I bought it for him. It was full retail price, so it was not given to me. But it was the only one I bought of the 3. So,
but the other 2 were given to you.
The other 2 were given to me. Yes.
That's still cheaper. Still cheaper than the eBay prices right now for the lats.
Yeah,
because those suckers are well over $100.
It was a new in the new in the box. Like I tore off the Saran wrap around it, and I took all the cards and just threw them immediately in the trash.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so I built that. I got that primed, and then my secret painting project I'm working on. I'm not gonna tell anybody about it.
Boo!
He's telling people about it right now, though. If you're being honest, you're teasing us.
Of course, I'm teasing. I mean, that's the only thing I have. So, but I'm hoping it's kind of slowly dictating what I'm going to bring to Adepticon, and I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I think it's going to be fun. So I'm just kind of rolling with it.
Interesting.
And then I got an airbrush for Christmas, and I finally busted it out and like batch painted a bunch of clones because I primed them black and then I do the white on top. Holy bleeping bleep! Like airbrushes are amazing. Like, oh my god, there's so much. It's so easy. It's so fun. Like
it's fun. That's the crazy thing.
It is. It was like, this is great. Like, this is so much better than sitting there with a brush and like trying to dry brush it, trying to figure it out. Like, and the models look great. Like, how come you guys didn't get me to do this like years ago? Like, what am I doing? So now I'm just addicted to using my airbrush, and it might be I inhaled a lot of the paint that I was, spraying around, so that might help.
I mean,
but
that's part of the artistic process or something, right?
I put a fan up, and I opened my window, so I think that kind of helped. But hey, but yeah, I love it. I bought a bunch of like stuff for it. I bought a bunch of like mixing cups. I'm gonna buy a holder for it. What else? There was something else I was gonna get to. But yeah, I'm in, and it's great. So that's what I've been working. I don't have anything done yet, but I know my first goal was to get a lat painted first of my 66 models, I think I said this year. So I'm trying to get the lat done. while also like getting a bunch of other models around it
Very
done
nice.
as well. So yeah. So that's me.
What about you, Randy?
I'm working through Rebel backlog. I did an Ion Trooper guy. I did a fleet. He's not done, but he's getting there.
I like that fleet.
Yeah,
I like the brown.
I don't like
And
he's
the
probably
white.
going to be a Cassian
he's the
fleet.
leader.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah. I'll have to paint Cassian soon too, because I'm probably gonna play Rebels because I just can't get the shadows illuminated, So, congratulations, AMG, you've broken this man's spirit.
You have Savage in the pipeline?
Yeah,
It's not enough.
I don't think Savage is going to be that good
That.
to lift up the entire force.
Okay.
I mean, maybe there's points drops coming along, so who knows?
You also have pirates coming.
That's true. I'm excited for
And
pirates.
Willow.
You
I'm
got
excited
a
for pirates.
transport vehicle coming that's also a tank.
Wheelos. Do you think it would bother people if I got one of those red sirens to put on the table with me, and then when I activate the Wheelo, just turn it on? Wheelo. Yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
say yes. That would
Anyways.
bother me.
Yeah.
Depends on how the
Yeah.
game's going.
I'd hear about
Depends on
it.
the game's going.
You know,
It'd
like
be really funny.
Hopefully I'm winning, and then I'm lifting their spirits with the sound of that siren.
yeah. You know when you're in a convention
Call the
hall
ambulance! Call the ambulance!
and a certain popular game, all of a sudden you hear someone just scream from the bottom of their soul, and everybody just looks and rolls their eyes. I'm not saying that's the same.
You're saying
But-
this is our way to take it back.
Yeah,
Like, this is how we fight
that's,
back.
That's how you fight
Yeah.
back against the greenskins.
Okay.
You know.
All right, I love it. Oh man. But yeah, I also painted a Halo dude recently.
Oh,
a
okay.
Bullfrog. I liked him really good. I think I got my visor stuff down good.
Yeah,
there,
it
so
did
I'm
look good. I
excited
can't
about
confirm
that.
it does look sick.
But how about you, Richard?
Yeah,
Anything cool?
I mean, I do painting during my like Sunday morning RPGs. I play right now. I'm playing in a Star Wars one with some of the Stabcast guys. Ryan Soloski's is our GM, so fantastic time to just sit and paint and play a Star Wars RPG. But I've been 3D printing some terrain for this game called Malediction that just came out. So like if you buy the starter box, it comes with STLs for like all the minis, so that the price is really cheap, but then you get like the terrain and the mini STLs to print at your leisure. So really liking it. The terrain quality is really, really nice. This is the studio's like first miniature war game, but they've done a lot of those like dungeon in a box type situation. So I've been thoroughly impressed with the game and the quality of the sculpt so far.
What kind of 3D brand do you have? Bambi Let's Please sponsor.
Ooh, I've got an Ender 3 with some additional letters after it, but I couldn't tell you. Unfortunately, I'm the wrong person to ask. I plug the file in, I hit print, and I pray to God that nothing goes wrong. And unfortunately, a lot of things have been going wrong lately. So,
Oh, no.
I'm
It's okay.
lucky to have what I have printed right now. Technology
There you
is not my friend.
Oh, well, Bamboo Labs was sponsored. Let us get Richard a printer. Okay. Anyways, well, amazing. It sounds like most of us are making some progress.
I have a secret project that I can't talk about either. That is very impressive, and I'm just not going to talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
So
Your
like
secret
Mitchem.
project has been going on for almost a year now. Printing
There's
my-
no secret project. I'm just trying to sound
printing
cool.
my ATT.
My secret project is me not getting my hobby done.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go on to our main topic here, if you want to join our Discord, please look below. Check that out. We're in there talking. Sometimes people bug Richard in there too, and
Yep.
he is nice enough to answer. Richard's just one of them dogs when it comes to Legion. He likes talking about Legion. So.
I do like talking about Legion.
So, yeah, what do they say? Like for basketball, like basketball sickos. We got a bunch of Legion sickos in there. we
got some real number crunchers down there.
Yeah, too. So it's great.
But they do ask him for advice in our Discord, so that maybe says something about us. So I don't.
And that is why he is our guest today for this Empire episode. We did have a little bit of news. There were some release dates dropped for the wheel bikes, March 20th, I believe. It was announced they will not be legal for Adepticon, so nobody panic. You can wait to spend that $300. But also, interestingly, Battledeck 2 got announced, the release date. Also not legal for Adepticon. However, we did get a preview of a deployment card for a primary we have not seen yet. It is called Contact. This is a pretty spicy deployment here. For those just listening, think of like a Tetris piece with the three on. It's like an L, but then there's
it's like a 4 and then like a 3 piece.
But obviously that gap there's to like keep you from short edging in there. But there's this nice space for infiltrating and prepared positioned units to really get up the word. Is my first question: is Garrison going to start going in people's advantage decks?
Yes. And I say yes mostly because Garrison's already going in a few decks out there. I've come across Garrison quite a bit recently, which is surprising because normally that's one that's left at home with like strafing run. But times are changing. Times are changing in this game, and I think the advantage slot is going to become a lot more interesting because I don't know. Maybe I'm stealing your thunder. Maybe you were about to get to this, but the description of the card pack says it comes with 4 primaries, 4 secondaries, and then 2 advantages for each faction. We've only seen one of the advantages for each faction so far.
And I would say all the ones we've seen are at least interesting and usable for at least some kinds of lists. So pretty spicy what these other ones are going to be.
I really like this. There's a lot of things I like about this objective. I like there's 5 POIs. That's interesting because it's we're going to maybe have less tying going on in a given turn because, I mean, there's an odd number of things to fight over. I like the little salient. I don't know. I've been calling it a salient. I don't know if that's correct. The little outcropping that is only accessible by infiltrate or prepare positions.
The panhandle.
Yeah, panhandle. Go. I feel like I should have come up with that. There you go. That's disappointing. I feel ashamed of myself as an Oklahoman. But it's very cool. I think that'll. I mean, I was thinking of like the max use case. I mean, someone does echo-based defenders and then maxes their vets and their Mark IIs. That's going to be able to shoot a lot of the board out there. So, I mean, it's very interesting. ISF, I think we talked about before the podcast, maybe being something that could be, I mean, obviously, I mean, think clone commandos. This will be a good clone commando.
Clone marksman.
I mean, marksman, maybe E-webs. I mean, an E-web with range 4 out there could potentially be maybe something. I don't know. It's got a large threat zone at least. So very interesting. I do think this is so emphasizing the that kind of deployment tech that everybody else is starting from the main zone. So if you don't have those abilities in your army, you can just cut that panhandle off in your mind because you don't have access to that. So
yeah.
Well,
I guess it's got a little bit of both. Like you got some units that can stay back within the deployment zone, like marksmen, and have dug in and control that bottom objective because it's partly in the deployment, and then obviously the infiltrate and the panhandle and everything too. So, I think dug in is going to get really used a lot on this map for sure. But yeah, I think it's like marrying the best of both worlds. Like you want to bring some units that have infiltrate and prepare positions, and then you also want to just leave some units in your deployment zone to kind of control your home. So it's a nice kind of like, I think there's multiple ways to approach this, and I'm really curious to see how the community kind of dives in on it.
I'm curious, does the name make you glean anything as to what the scoring parameters for this mission will be? Because I have not been able to think of anything.
With the 5 POIs, it kind of makes me think it'll be similar to shifting, in the fact that you just get a point for everyone you secure. So that way it's like, okay, 3-2, 3, or so maybe something like that. I doubt that they will move, but it's going to be really interesting to see like what the special rule is that kind of changes it up.
It is interesting that one of them is in each of the friendly territories.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing around with an idea and talking about somebody because we were trying to come up with some custom objective options, just to like spice up the game, think about it in different ways. And one of the ones that was posited was, you can only score an objective in your friendly territory if you control 2 in a contested territory. This has got lined up to be really interesting if maybe something like that were to happen. But yeah, until we get the other side of that card,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, it kind of feels breakthrough a little bit too in that sense.
Very much so.
So I could see definitely playing with the deployment some.
On the upside, Aqua Droids, still really good. Just infiltrate wherever you want.
Or the downside, depending on what you play. So,
but you go ruin it. We're talking all these fun units that we could take advantage of this, and you're like, oh yeah, Aqua's still.
I'm a realist,
This mission is going to be very, very terrain and table dependent. I think. I feel like if some tables are super open, or there's not a lot of, if there's a lot of like shooting lanes, then that's going to be very difficult for some. Like, I feel like you can get stuck with a really bad side. So like with the POI being in the very center of the table, that's where a lot of people like to put, big pieces of terrain. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how it probably won't change a lot, but I think you got to be a little bit, when you're building a table, especially as a TO, you got to be really considerate of all the missions and make sure that you're not having to move terrain around too much, but also like trying to create a diverse playing field for your players and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm interested as a TO just to see how this plays on like a super dense or super light terrain table. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think most people are probably getting pretty good about moving terrain around.
Yeah, I think so too. And I feel like there's a pretty good consistency of like terrain. It'll be interesting to see at Worlds, because I know our community is a little bit heavier on terrain.
Same.
On tables. And I just watched your battle report that you guys put out, Richard, and it seemed like you guys like to have a decent amount of terrain and a lot of different types of terrain, which I think is where AMG wants the game to be. So, and I know last year, I think World, some of the complaint I heard was that some of the tables were kind of light or lacking. So we'll see. I think hopefully people are kind of trending on the more terrain, the better. And I think that's not a bad thing.
I would say that maybe day 2, the terrain will be heavier than the day 1 tables.
That's true.
Okay. I will stop sharing this and not stop the recording. I did it. Haha. What else got announced today? It was the Ion Spiders, or not the Spiders.
The Spiders.
And then what
Range
was the other one?
Troopers.
Range Troopers, yes. Just in time for their impending points drop in April, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
I want to know what the busted thing was they thought was going to happen that never happened, but that's okay.
I'm wondering if it's going to be like a pull the string situation from Tarkin, Like if you could double tap that a suppressive unit into a trooper target, it's not a bad dice pool.
I don't know. I think it was just range 4 things in general, possibly. Because, I mean, they went through and tried to fix sniper rifles, but didn't. No one still brings them because they're just a liability. So maybe it was just like, okay, these are snipers, but there's more dice, and then you can spur them. And I don't know, maybe it was like some sort of action economy, but there's just more units in the game that are just more efficient now. So I don't know. And we probably never will, but we'll see.
Hopefully we find out. Hopefully High Command comes out and we're like, oh yeah, they're so good. They're so good that range troopers are busted.
They were just playing 2.6.1.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, big brain for sure. Okay. Well, let's get into it then. So Richard, we're going to kind of start off here as maybe there's a newer listener out there. They've picked their faction, or when they're picking their faction, if you are going to play an Empire list, what should you be expecting to do with an Empire army? What are you should be good at? What's probably going to be some of the things that are tough for you? I know there's skews that affect this, but in general.
Yeah. So for me, Empire is really about this idea of building a machine that is efficient, right? If you look at some of the other factions, right, you see the clone token sharing, you see the like defensive advantages of rebels, you see separatists are doing a lot of things. We won't talk about them, but Empire is really about the offensive capability that you're able to put out, right? You've got your Veers and Krennics with Spotter. You've got the Exemplar customs. You have ways to bounce orders around depending on what units you're taking. And it's really about, especially within the core of the faction, right? Your maybe your special forces and your core slot are about how much can I get out of one activation, right? Precise is pretty around within the faction, so every aim token is generating more value. If you look at something like the new Stormtrooper battalion, where you can start every turn with 6 aim tokens on the field. And if you throw a super Stormtrooper squad, you're starting with 13 white dice. And then if you do different math things and share tokens in certain ways, you could re-roll up to, I want to say it's like between 12 and 15 dice if you do everything perfectly. So, at the end of the day, you throw 28 white dice on offense, you're gonna find paint and it's gonna hurt. Then you do that 2 more times. And so for me, Empire is really all about that offensive efficiency. Then you back that up and support that with really strong character options. So bounty hunters galore within Empire, right? And a lot of good bounty hunters as well. Bosk, Din are 2 of my absolute favorites. I think both IGs are very viable. Cad Bane, you can leave him at home for now. Boba needs a points decrease, but you can make him work if you really want to. And then you've just got specialty options as well. The Callous Riot Squad, incredible, absolutely incredible right now. The vehicles, I think all of the vehicles within Empire have a place. The transports get units pretty far up the board. You've got good, decent anti-armor from them. The Lat and the Gab can each get up to, I want to say, Impact 4. If you're doing it right, AT-ST can also get up to Impact 4 with its Twin Light Blaster. So you've got good anti-armor as well, which is really important in the meta. You've got options, and all of your options are really pushing you towards offense. And that's without even mentioning Vader, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess this is kind of getting into faction identity a bit too. And I know Empire had been kind of struggling with that probably in the year of 2.6 until Imperial March came out. And then I feel like things started kind of shifting with points changes and things like that. And I will go ahead and kind of pimp Crypto Block here again. You guys are also kind of going through the different factions of with list building. I know you guys have a Rebel video coming out, so make sure you guys are listening to those two, because I'm hoping those will go hand in hand here. But if you are building an Empire list, like what would you say are like a few like top tier units that you are building around in Empire currently?
Yeah, so the ones that I'm really in love with right now is that, well, first and foremost, that Callus Riot Squad I was talking about. You throw Imperial March on it, you throw a pair of the KX security droids, and the unit comes out to, was it 98 points with, if you include E-gear as well. And so I've been playing a lot of LAT. You drop them out of the LAT. So it's speed 3 plus the LAT base plus a speed 1 disembark plus a speed 2 plus a speed 3 march. You get to approximately range 5.25 from your board edge where you're deploying from. That catches people off guard. And then Callus has all sorts of shenanigans going on with his free action immobilize 2, decent dice, 7 health, surging red saves in melee. It's a really good unit. The other thing, the AMG a long time ago had said that Stormtroopers were one of the most efficient units for rerolling dice, and the Super Squad T21 has really, really shown that. You're throwing 13 white dice, it is a slot machine, but if you can back that up with 2 to 3 aims, because you're rerolling 3 dice with each one of those aims, the unit's cheap. It's 102 points for 10 health red saves and just pretty decent firepower. It also gives you a really good critical chance, which into the defensive tech that's out there is really good. No one's really taking situational awareness anymore for the outmaneuver dodges. And it's really good into armor, which is between 212, Tempest, and a few other things going on, is really all over the place as well. So I think those are 2 units that are really good. The generic officer, I would be remiss of not mentioning them as well. Courage 3 with the Academy trained, Inspire 2, Strategize, Exemplar. It's just an all-rounder for relatively cheap as well. If you run them expensive with like command control uplink and lead by example, you end up at like 91 points. But then you have Strategize, Inspire 4, the ability to just lower a pip of a card at any time. So if you play a 1 pip, you've pretty much won the one initiative for the turn. And man, does that pair well with literally every other commander in the faction. You want Vader's Implacable to go first no matter what? Great. Implacable's now a 0 pip. You want Krennic to tie up with Cunning someone else's objective because you played his 2 pip or something? Great. Now you have another Cunning 1 pip in your pocket. It's just amazing. And yeah. I think it's only going to get better once Imperial High Command drops. We've seen a little bit of what they do. And being able to put the generic officer's toolkit combined with what is printed on Thrawn's card is horrifying for people who are going to be playing against Empire. So I think Empire is in a good place and the horizon is bright.
Yeah. Me and Matt played a game not too long ago. He was running Stormtrooper Battalion, and it almost felt like a different game fighting into that many super squads of Stormtroopers.
Yep.
Right? Like when they're not a super squad, it's like the episode 4 missing everything Stormtroopers, and then when they're a super squad, it's like, oh gosh, it's Rogue One all over again. Everyone's dying. So yeah, it's intense.
That's how I felt when I played Preston. Yeah, and that was my first experience with the Stormtrooper Battalion. And I mean, he only had, I think, 2 super squads, and he didn't even have the full like 7 core. He brought like a LAT, 2 riot squads. 1 had Callus in the unit, and then he had Vader, and then he had 3 custom, 1 commander, and then 2 operatives.
Interesting.
And I mean, just the token generation was just like, okay, they all get orders. Okay, they all have target 2. At one time, his agent had like target 4 on him or something because of an upgrade that he got, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! Like, how do you beat this? And all the characters are just linebackers, and then Vader is Vader, obviously, And then you put Callus with a riot and a lat, and so you send that up to one side of the board, and then Callus is like, okay, here's 2 immobilized tokens and however many suppression. Just sit there, Ahsoka. It's like, okay, like. Okay, I won't play the game now. I'll just wait till your turn's done, and then we'll catch back up on turn 2. So, yeah, it was like this is a different game. Yeah,
You get like every trick in the book in the one list.
yeah, for real. Yeah, that's definitely how it felt. I mean, when Randy said that the other day about him and Matt's game, I was like, I mean, it's still Legion. I mean, what are you talking about? But I was like, okay. So this Stormtrooper Battalion is playing 2.6.1, and I'm still on 2.6. I see. I understand. I understand now. That new update came out, and I just haven't rebooted my computer yet. I got it.
Which is funny because when it originally dropped, the internet was very quick to denounce Stormtrooper Battalion as unplayable trash. So we'll see what Adepticon brings, but the preliminary results look pretty decent for Stormtrooper Battalion sticking around for a little bit.
I know a lot of the early complaints was the command card or the lack of command card play because of all the customs you have to bring. I mean, just bring Vader. There's all 6. It's pretty much that simple. So
I'm not personally convinced the Vader version's the best version, but I'm open to it. I think the issue for me is that version only gets to, I want to say, 10 acts, and in a world where a 13-act General Grievous on a wheel bike list is floating around, 10 activations is a bit of a scary place to be playing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
Well, we were gonna kind of dive into what meta archetypes are showing up at tournaments right now, and since we're already kind of talking about Stormtrooper Battalion, let's just kind of keep on with it. When you are playing with Stormtrooper Battalion, what is your goal? And if you're playing against it, how do you beat that thing? What do you do?
I mean, if you want my opinion, your goal is, again, you're going back, you're building that machine, right? I was not joking about starting every round after issuing orders with 6 aims. 3 of those aims are getting aided out to everybody around the agent. 3 of the tip of the spear agent. 3 of those aims are going to sit on your exemplar commander. And that's just the way it is 4 out of 5 turns of the game. If you build it up right with like seize the initiative and trusted agent. And I also wasn't kidding that when you're shooting the super squads, you have anywhere between 3 to 5 aims. If you're playing coordinated fire, I've gotten that total up to 8 aims, which was overkill, but I did want to see how many I could stack. So that was kind of a side game I was playing in that particular match. But yeah, realistically, the name of the game is how many crits can I find on 13 dice, and I'm going to do that 3 to 4 times per turn, or not per turn, per round. If I'm forcing you to roll against 8 crits on 3 to 4 shots per round, can you weather that? The answer for a lot of lists is no. Cover is something that people still rely on, despite saying that it doesn't do anything. Dodge tokens, again, nobody's really bringing out maneuver technology anymore. So you get through all of that. Well, you're special, Randy. I don't know.
It's stapled on the cards I have.
So yeah, I think you're really just looking to ratchet up the amount of damage that you're putting out there. You're throwing your riot squad to go tie up something. Mitchem, you mentioned Callus Riot just dove into Ahsoka and wasted her time. I mean, demoralize 1 plus mobilize 2 means she's not going anywhere. Even if she clears the squad, great. Now you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. Your activation's done, and now you're not in melee anymore. Guess what? That means you can be shot. Like,
Yep.
You've got options. You were mentioning I've been playing with 2 lats. You mentioned an opponent that was bringing 1 lat. You throw armor piercing shells on there. Suddenly you're 3 red, 4 black, impact 4. TIE pilot, you're going speed 3. Like, there's some silliness that you can do with that list. Again, it's all about building that offensive machine. It's all about how much can you squeeze out of every single activation within that list. I will say the flip side is, because we talked about how do you beat it, it is not a very mobile list. The riots and the lats are deceiving. They are the 4 fast pieces. Everything else wants to be aiming and shooting with the best shots that they can get off. And so you can kind of beat them on that maneuverability. The other thing too, if you take out the characters, right, that are generating those aims, suddenly you have a regular list that's not really doing a whole lot other than being there. If you're not getting 6 free aims, every aim you get is a free action, right? If you're losing out 6 free actions every single round, it's not really that special of a list.
Yeah.
So
definitely cutting the head off the snake situation there then. Yeah.
Yes.
I like what you were saying about maneuverability for sure, because they just want to sit there and get that extra aim. And so I guess, are you skewing to a shifting priorities if you can, or or breakthrough? I think Matt didn't. I think we played breakthrough, and I don't think they liked breakthrough as much.
If you have a way to get rid of the lats immediately, breakthrough is really good. If you don't, let's say that you are a list that's relying on something like impact grenades to be your source of anti-armor, lats are immune to those. And unless the player is doing something really questionable, which does happen, those lats are going to be sitting on your breakthrough points turn 2. And if you can't get rid of them, you're never scoring that point.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they get the 2 points off of it, they are denying 1 point every turn. Lats are armor 5. Yeah, they're surging white, 8 health. 8 health's still pretty decent, but the armor 5 means you have to dedicate a shot or 2 to take them out. It's not just going to be something that is easy to do. So I don't think the list hates breakthrough. I don't think it loves breakthrough, because you have to split up your characters. You really want to bunch up that aim generation as much as you can to be able to share it with everyone. I really like Recover the Research. Even though I don't have the characters for it, I like Bunker Assault, because you can kind of overwhelm 1 point while holding the other. And it keeps you close. The other one is Intercept Signals, just because if you throw a token on a lat, it just gets to the enemy back point turn 2. And that usually gives you tempo and momentum to go up. So, there's options. I do think shifting is one they don't want to see, though.
Matt, do you have a Gav related question for this list?
I want to play Gavs in the battalion, but it's tough when you look at the lat and you're like, this does the job probably better for cheaper.
Yep.
And I've gotten pretty desperate with my Gav building. Like, we've gone down. I mean, the problem is naked Gav's 125, and I think your lat that you were playing with, even with some tricks to it, was like 110-ish.
Yeah, so the one I play, TIE Pilot, Armor Piercing Shells, HQ Uplink, is 118. So
yeah,
7. I'm starting fully kitted 7 points cheaper than you are.
It hurts so bad. Yeah. He's got the HQ uplink, so he can play standing orders turn 1 if he really wants to.
Bingo.
It's
and you can get around the map.
Yeah, and he can pressure points and he can like clear terrain. I know that's a foreign concept for Gav drivers, but you can like go over things.
Well, and the other thing with the HQ uplinks, you have full order control every turn of the game if you want it. because you want orders on the 2 characters because they're generating you 6 aims, and then you're recovering the shell. Once you get into position, your recover shooting with the armor piercing shells, that recover action is also getting your HQ uplink back. You're doubling down, and then the only thing in your bag is core, 7 core tokens. So,
Jeez. God.
it's not bad.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I can get it. I can get a really sad HQ uplink Gav for 135, and then
You want the Hammers pilot, so it's really 145.
So I've just lit 50 points on fire, and now I have to make that up somewhere else in my list.
And you know what 50 points gets you in this list is
Super squad.
a super squad.
Yeah.
That 50 points is valuable. That's 5 bodies.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, that's where I've came to the conclusion that I don't think I can justify Gav Stormtrooper Battalion unless I'm just really being stubborn and wanting to play Gavs. So I guess the only upside would be the Gav can occasionally just go full red save armor and just not die. But
you also
I
have
don't
the
think
weak point side.
Yeah, honestly, there's not a ton of upside there compared to everything else. Like, it's like the LAT does all this stuff better for cheaper, and it puts Callus out farther. It's able to pressure objectives, all this stuff, and then it's like Gav, Gav has red saves. So
it's like all the pros, no
Yeah.
cons.
Yeah,
I
it's like
will
all
say-
the cons, no pros.
I will say, let's be fair to the Gav. A pro in the Gav's favor of the LAT is there's no risk of knocking it over and damaging the model. Because the amount of times my LATs take a tumble,
Yeah.
I'm borrowing one from a buddy because they're impossible to find, and then I've got mine, and mine is beat to hell.
So I just need to go and break all the LAT players' LATs before the event. So then my Gavs, my flat Gavs.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it is balancing that base with the peg where you're up in the air. It's sometimes tricky. Where the Gav, if you're lucky enough to be able to do a 45-degree angle on terrain, you're not really worried about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Exactly.
I kind of want to ask a unique question. How would you rate the complexity of play of Stormtrooper Battalion? Like on a scale of 1 to 5, like is it like 1 being push
New
W
player friendly.
Yeah, new player friendly, and then like 5 being like you got to be Luke Cook to kind of like, or that Zach Galifianakis meme where he has all the numbers going across to be able to see all the permutations that you have to know where to go. Like, how would you rank Stormtrooper Battalion, or I guess specifically your list?
On a 1 to 5,
Yeah,
like a 1.25. If I'm being completely honest, once you understand how to generate your aims, you've done it. You've figured out the list. It is one of the things that is making me hesitant to bring it to Adepticon. You don't really have tricks in your bag. Like, you don't have really clever command cards. You don't have like tricky characters unless you're bringing Vader. Like, there is the Vader variant. So like, obviously if you bring Vader into the mix, that throws all of this out the window. That jumps you up to, let's call it a 3, because Vader is that level of
Vader's a
mixing
2
things.
by himself. Yeah,
Exactly. So, but if you're carbon copying, playing my version, maybe tweaking 1 or 2 things and not adding Vader, you can pick this up, and once you're into round 3 of the game, you know how to play it. You know what you're doing. Maybe you find a few other helpful things here and there, but for the most part, you've got it.
Yeah, I think that kind of list goes a long way, because I think a lot of players, especially newer players, can be very list building can be very daunting.
Yes.
Like, on top of learning how to play a new game, and it's got all these new terms that you're not used to. Like if you're coming over from 40K or AOS, I mean, you're used to D6s and tape measures and like inches, and now you're like, you don't get to use any of that.
Nope.
You got your own dice. You got 1 for defense, 1 for attack. You got pre-measured range sticks and movement and everything. So on top of getting used to all that, and then you have to memorize this whole glossary of keywords that everybody has access to, Oh, and by the way, you got to go build a list that's 1,000 points with all these awesome upgrades that really change everything. And I see new players all the time. They'll make a list. They'll bring 6 core units, and then they'll pack every single upgrade slot with something.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, let's take a step back. You know, you don't need to bring just because it's there doesn't mean you need to use it. So I think a lot of players would like something that can just like step into and just being like, okay, like this is a bunch of stormtroopers. I can bring Vader. I don't have to bring Vader. I just throw aims on these guys. Sure, I could play this. This is super easy. And I think that will appeal to a lot of players. And it's not gonna be awful if you want to bring it to a Adepticon. So.
Yeah, it's definitely not breaking any mental gymnastics to be able to play or understand this list.
Yeah.
This is as close as just press W as you can get, honestly. You are looking to overwhelm your opponent with just the pure amount of crits that you are going to be throwing at them.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side is if you don't find the surge results or the crit results on your dice, things fall apart a little bit. Yeah. But, you know, if you do, like, I think we were talking about it earlier, after everything's said and done, if you have 3 aims with you, the average is like 5.5 crits that you end up with. That's a lot. Multiply that by 3, and you're forcing your opponent to make somewhere between 16, 17 saves against crits, not including hits. That you can't dodge,
that you can't use cover against.
And that's just from 3 units. You still have 2 other stormtroopers that are just regular size with T-21s. You still have 2 riot control squads that are in your face tying up important units. You still have 2 armor piercing shell lats. There's a lot of firepower that you have to deal with. So
I would argue that the lat riot are probably the hardest thing to pilot in the list. Just to know what side you put them on, when to deploy them, and stuff like that. Everything else is like, you know, super squads are so nice, and I think very new player friendly in the fact that they're very. You can make mistakes.
The trick is, I have a gun.
I have a gun, and there's 11 of me.
Yeah.
So it's like, we lose one guy. Okay, now I have one less gun. I go from 12 dice to 11. I'm still throwing white dice, you know. So it's like there you can make a lot of mistakes, you know, because I think with normal size squads, if you lose, you feel the impact of losing 1 dice.
Yes.
You know, 4 out of 5 is a lot. You feel that more than 10 or 10 out of 11 or something like that. So so super squads really kind of give you that cushion to be able to make mistakes and stuff like that. Now mobility will kind of get you, like we were talking about earlier, but as far as just like maybe if you deploy a super squad too far and they get shot at a few times, it's gonna take a few times to get them off the table.
Hopefully,
so
unless your red saves give out.
Hopefully,
in which
you know,
case...
it's still a dice game. But
did you use compel a lot? Was your Stormtrooper battalion? Is that a thing that came up? Okay.
Oh yeah. Because unfortunately, even though you have a bunch of super squads and you rally on red dice, you end up with 1 suppression. So much, right? It's just ridiculous. So the compel ended up being very helpful. I will say I also loved putting lead by example on my Imperial officer so that she ends up being Inspire 4, which is a fun number. But it also happens to be the number of suppression your agent puts on themselves every time they aid out 3 aims and a surge token to your stormtroopers. So there's a really nice Hellcat combination of your commander is able to clear all the suppression from your agent every time that they're passing out the tokens.
Do you aid those always to storms, or do you try to give them to the commander if you can? Or
so it is aid core trooper, so it is going to core troopers. Turn 1 it's normally going 1 to each riot squad, and then I would say probably like 60% of the time I've ended up with black ops. So it's usually the last one is going to my infiltrating stormtrooper squad. Spread out kind of nicely there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to stormtroopers, and it's going to the double stuffed ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's keep it going here with another list, and that's one you've played quite a bit as well, and that is Remnant and Dark Troopers. How do I survive these act passing robot linebackers coming down the field to wreck me?
Well, it's a time.
It's not the robots; it's the scout troopers you got to worry about.
It's a bit of everything. Yeah. If we want to talk about Remnant, we can talk about my Remnant list that I brought to Crucible. I guess it did get updated because post Crucible with the November update, it did lose 32 points, I think, off the top. Which
get out of here.
It was already good. What were they doing?
I was watching that live with the other Crypto Block guys, and they all just looked at me and were like, "What do you mean? What do you mean you just got 32 points in the list that's been terrorizing us?"
I'm picturing that John Bernthal mean. Wait. No.
They were not happy. So it turns out
I feel like Thomas Trotman was losing at Oklahoma Open. He was just like, I'm so happy.
He was like, I'm getting my ass beat by Brian Baer, but it doesn't matter right now.
It was surprising. I was able to pull a few upgrades here and there, and then I ended up getting the frag launcher on one of the Dark Trooper units. Turns out that's still pretty good, and I was getting range 2 shots most of the time, so why not? Man. But Remnant, I mean, do you want the offensive spiel first or how to beat it first?
Well, let's do the easier thing first of like, what's the offensive spiel? And then we'll try to climb the impossible hill.
Sure. So the offensive spiel is pass as much as you can round 1. Delay. The name of the game is to go with those Dark Troopers semi-early, basically using them as roadblocks and pass, because the way I was doing it was assault turn 1, order on Moff Gideon, order on the 2 Stormtroopers. I would pass as often as able, pray that I pulled a Dark Trooper, and because they're not getting shots turn 1, let's be honest. But they do need to be moving up the board, so move dodge is a perfectly reasonable thing for them to be doing. If they do get shots, great, but then your opponent's messed up. Delay until you draw that first special forces, then the Death Trooper comes out. Once that has happened, I rotate to Stormtroopers, and of course, Ruthless move onto the board speed 2, then you get a speed 3 move, then you get a range 3 shot. Hits about 5 1/4 from your board edge, give or take. Again, you're throwing a supersized T-21 squad. You don't have an aim because you have an order. So it's still 12 critical 2 that you can hit anywhere. Sometimes that's going to do really silly things. I had my 2 Stormtrooper units one-shot Yoda between the 2 of them round 1 at Crucible. He was not happy that I did that, but it is what it is.
Oh no.
It's a thing that can happen when you're rolling just a slot machine of white dice and you find 6 crits, and okay, here we are. So that's really good. Once the Stormtroopers are done, back to the bag. Well, normally Gideon comes out next, and one of the things you want to do is kind of clump the core and put Gideon with them for turn 2, in my opinion. We'll get to why in a second. And you want one of the Dark Troopers by Gideon while you're doing that. Yes, I know you're not getting your free tokens for Remnant if they're within Gideon's courage bubble, but there's an important reason as to why. Anyway, delay till the Scout Troopers go last, because with Imperial March on them, thanks to Remnant rule building, speed 3, and then you've got 8 black, 4 white, critical 2, that if you've done it right can hit about range 4.5 from your board edge. And they do have an aim. They don't have targeting scopes anymore because we wanted the frag launcher, but you could trade the frag launcher for just the regular dude, and then you could put targeting scopes back on them.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah. It's a pretty good dice pool. Scouts still fragile, so if your opponent has anything left in the bag, you're gonna get clapped back. But the amount of damage that can output if your opponent isn't aware of the threat ranges is pretty devastating. And you got 2 of them. And then turn 2, what you do is you go right into moment of consideration. You put the 3 orders on your 3 core troopers. You put an order on a death trooper, or not a death trooper, my apologies, a dark trooper. And then you've got 3 darks, 3 special forces, and Gideon in the bag with an improvised orders, which means you have a pretty darn good chance. I think it's somewhere in the world of like 70% between those 2 pulls of getting one of your special forces tokens. And then you basically just use that to double tap your scouts going into turn 2, top of turn 2. At which point, if they're going to go down after that, these are glass cannons, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, you've thrown 16 black, 8 white, with critical. So you have some surge values with aims. You should have done some damage with that. Then if your opponent is trying to get into your lines, all 3 of your core have standby tokens thanks to the command card. So you can delay them or go with them as needed. And just kind of move the pieces around. This list also has some really good tricks. Sweep and clear is this list's best friend in the world. That dark trooper that you're keeping near Gideon is to be able to use his 2-pip to airdrop them into enemy territory to then move up and finish off a unit and score 2 points. Turns out it's really hard for your opponent to remove things from this list because you have 3 super squads, a surging red save death trooper, 2 units of dark troopers that are 2 health per mini behind armor 3, and then some low profile scouts. So you don't have a lot of activations, but you do have a lot of firepower.
Jeez. That just sounds so...
The Imperial March Scout thing kind of gets Randy going a little bit.
I mean, I was surprised they said I could do it, if I'm being real.
They're not core. I get for list building their core, but come on, guys.
Yeah, it was when that ruling came out, I was salivating because that changed all of the dynamic. Like the ability to do 2 speed 3s with your scouts is very strong. So we were just talking about Stormtrooper Battalion has a lot of issues with maneuverability and just movement in general. This list, between the Ruthless turn 1 on the Stormtroopers and going speed 2, speed 3, and the Scouts going speed 3, most of your army is up the board. You've got your prepared positions, Shore Trooper as well. You have a Dark Trooper that you can airdrop where you need it. Movement is not a problem for this particular list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're passing.
Mm-hmm.
You know the range bands, right? You can how far out you can almost get out and hit at range 5 with those.
Yeah, so the ones
Scout
that are really
troopers.
scary, as long as you stay out of 4.5, the Scouts can't hurt you. Which is less than 2 full speed 2 moves. It's a speed 2 and a speed 1, give or take, that you can perform and be safe. Anything more than that, I don't have the exact math in my head. It gets a little too close for comfort. But let me be very clear. If you know the range bands and you can mitigate that alpha strike, the list struggles to make up that ground. I'll give a great example, right? I played Mike Berry twice down in Crucible. He was very aware of the range bands. I didn't get a Stormtrooper shot on him in either of the 2 games we played round 1, which is a shocking statement given the distances I just told you can reach. I got a single Scout Trooper shot in each of those games because we both kind of, not verbally, but both knew what needed to happen and agreed that we are each going to give each other 1 shot. And so you end up in these situations where if against a player that is like an A, like low A and lower, if we're giving players, ratings on a tier list, it's going to be very, very effective. But if you're playing against someone who's like really knows their stuff, is one of those top tier players that you expect to be in, the top 8 at any event they go to, they're going to be aware and they're going to be prepared, and it's not going to be a great time. Standbys are also very rough. You do not want to walk a scout unit into a standby gun line. So Echo Base, bad time. Actually, that's in general, bad time. You don't really have long range poke with this list to remove standby tokens. The best you've got is long shot short troopers. So if you have a range 3 standby castle you can build, this list can't really get into it without taking attrition.
So say you're playing a list, you don't have a lot of ranged counters, you need to move up the board too. Do you just seed the ground the first round or two, let them go up on VPs?
As long as you are confident that you can take that ground late 2, early 3, sure, you can do that, but you better be confident. I would recommend utilize terrain, right? If you're behind a line of sight blocker, you can't be shot. This list can get pretty far up the board, so it can get some weird angles, but like use area terrain, use line of sight blocking obstacle terrain. Find those little corners where maybe you're not in an ideal position. Maybe your first action has to be a climb next round when you would rather it just be a normal move. But put yourself up the board, but at a line of sight.
Are there any missions, like what can players do like turn 0 to help push, maybe not make it so much in favor of Remnant? Because I know there's a lot of missions they do like to play.
Yeah, I mean,
you mentioned sweep and clear, you mentioned bunker assault. I think any missions that pretty much the clone ones, so like close the pocket, bunker.
Yeah, I don't want close the pocket is not something I ever want to see if I'm playing Remnant.
Oh, okay.
One of the number one reasons is you are fighting over the middle. And when you fight over the middle, it's usually whoever has the most activations in their list is going to be winning that, unless there's like an Anakin or a Vader or Yoda or something that's really messing with the math. And one, despite having pass tokens, but despite being able to make yourself go last, what you don't have is activations. You have 9 activations that plays like 11 in my version.
Yeah.
You don't want close the pocket. You really don't want, in my opinion, like recover the research, because you cannot adequately cover 4 points. Basically you have 2 units that can dedicate to each point. If your opponent takes out 2 units, suddenly you're spread very, very thin. And like we were talking about with the scouts earlier, they are glass cannons. You are going to be losing them. That is a foregone conclusion. It's just how much value can you get out of them before they're gone. And so when you take that math into account, you're playing with 7 activations in the best scenario for turns 3, 4, 5, honestly. And that's not a position you want to be in. Recover the research. You want ones that you are able to score up and score fast, which again, your breakthrough, your bunker assault. I also like intercept signals on this too, because people tend to leave their back point undefended. And what really loves airdropping onto a back point with a token that can sit and score it forever uncontested? A Dark Trooper. So that's just what I found to work for me. I know Adam out of Indiana, him and I built this list together. So credit to him for some of this. Really liked, I think it was shifting priorities. Because
interesting.
You can move the board in a way that you can concentrate in one area and stretch the use out of your activations a little bit more.
Oh, I see.
The other thing too is you can send a scout to each of the far flanks, and they can normally clean up whatever's there to just sit on what's safe. So there's definitely some ability there to play that.
I'll go ahead and ask my question that I asked with the last archetype that we talked about. What's the complexity? Is it different than Stormtrooper Battalion?
Oh, yeah.
Again, 1 through 5, 1 being new player, 5 being, the Isaiah, the world best player and stuff, like the best players. So
yeah, this one I have to put somewhere between like 3.5 and 4. Even though I have found success with this list, I don't think I've mastered it. You are extraordinarily punished for mistakes because of your low activation count. Because you're also working with range bubbles around your commander. You have to know where to position your commander to get orders out when orders are critical, but not get orders out when you want tokens. You're also just playing with Courage 1 core troopers, and so you kind of need to be in the courage bubble. And so there's all of these micro decisions you have to make within playing the list that are not readily available to understand. It takes repetition, it takes practice, and just really knowing what to do is difficult, even once you've had 20, 30 reps with the list. I find, I would argue that this is one of the more complex lists that I've played.
Yeah. You talk about your opponent needing to know the range bands, but I think you as the player need to know them.
Oh yeah,
just as well, if not better. So
you need to know what you can hit before you commit, and if you're doing a ton of pre-measuring, you're kind of telling your opponent what your plan is, and secret information is good information. So you have to kind of be good at eyeballing range bands as well.
Yeah. Okay. That was good stuff. That was personally the one I wanted to hear about. I've been having trouble playing into Remnant, so
I've been told that if you can eliminate the Dark Troopers quickly, then it kind of ruins the list. Is that a concern at all?
I've had people say that to me as well. When I've played it, the Dark Troopers are the distraction. If you want to shoot the Dark Troopers, okay, have at it. Go crazy. They're still, the way I'm running them, 8 health. I guess the other's 10 health now. Red saves, they're still armor 3. Like, it takes work to get through them.
Yeah. I mean, they're more like the cleanup act. I mean, they're there to clean stuff up turns 3 and 4 or 5, and the scouts are the star of the show, turns 1, 2, and possibly 3 if they live that long.
Yeah. I thought I think behind it was if you can kill the darks, then you're eliminating the pass abuse potential. But I don't know if it's too late, and by the time you could probably kill them.
I mean, if you're taking them out turn 1 and 2, yes, you're dealing quite the blow. But if you're focusing them and you're only eliminating them like turn 3, and again, I've played. I can tell you, I can pull it up right now. So I've played 9, 15, 26. I've played 29 games of Imperial Remnant. And I think I've lost a Dark Trooper unit twice in my memory.
Yeah.
They just tend to be around. I think you are much better served just cutting activations down, because the amount of firepower it takes to take out a Dark Trooper, you can get, I think it's about a unit and a half of one of the super squads. I would rather, if I was playing against it, I'd rather take out a unit and a half of a super squad. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. 7 black dice with an aim and critical 1 twice per turn. That's annoying. It's going to do a little bit of work. But they don't surge. It's just critical 1. You know where they're going because they're speed 1 and they can only move once per round. So I don't think the Dark Troopers are as much of the anchor and fear piece in the list that opponents have seemed to think that they are.
Okay. Good stuff. I'd be curious. I don't know. I remember one time in Prime Dark Trooper, I brought a list with like Impact 28 and I still couldn't kill him. So,
Jeez.
Listen.
Was that when you could Guardian them still?
Yeah, it was. But he just like saved. He just like
Is that
saved
when they had
out.
infinite armor?
He just like saved. He just like saved out. I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, like it's still red saves, right? Like we've all played games where the red save just refuses to die, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
We've also played games where the red save, you throw 8 saves on Vader or
They're like
something,
white
and he
saves.
blanks all 8, and it's like, okay, Vader's gone. So,
Yeah.
I do like those games.
Same.
Every game, whenever I put a Force user on the table, which is why you never see me with Force users on the table.
I've done it to Randy a couple times with his Maul, so he doesn't like it all the time.
Maul just dies. So I can't play Mandalorians because
Same.
like, they just die for me. So okay, well we got 2 other ones I wanted to touch on. They're like not quite as widely popular as they used to be, but still worth mentioning. We were talking about before we really got recording, armor is pretty popular right now, so I think we'd be remiss to not touch on Tempest. 3 AT-STs is definitely armor.
Pretty good.
Is there, what are we seeing out of Tempest these days? Does it bring a lot of repair bots still? Are you bringing a ton of scouts? Should you be including bikes with your Tempest?
Yeah, it's a weird question. I don't have a lot of reps with Tempest Force. I think I've played it maybe twice just for fun. Definitely the triple AT-STs, right? Mark 1, 2 AT-STs, solid, can't go wrong there. I do think that the bike version has seen popularity and success over in Europe, specifically the UK. Maybe not super recently, but definitely over the summer. I think there's something there. I don't entirely know what it is. The list packs a lot of impact, right? So if you take 3 bikes, 3 AT-STs, that's impact, 6, 10, 14, 18 between the 3 of them. That's not bad with things like the 212 running around, with land speeders running around. With how much ion there is right now, it spooks me a little bit, but that might just be more of a local issue than it is a wider meta issue. I don't really hear a lot of the none of the podcasts are really talking about ion being dominant everywhere. It just might be literally my locals just harassing me. Who knows?
I'm a big Snowtrooper fan. I don't know if that's.
I don't know why we're not seeing more Snowtroopers. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm an offender. I'm not bringing Snowtroopers either. But like Snowtroopers with an ion gun feels effective. Impact 1, critical 1. You're rolling enough dice to find like on average 1 crit. That's 3 crits into armor.
Everybody talks about it. They're just not doing it.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe that's what you got to do at Worlds, Matt. Just bring the Snowtroopers out in force.
Bring Blizzard Force. Like, do it.
Oh,
do it.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I bringing with Blizzard Force? What am I bringing?
That's a great question. That's a great question. The answer is probably
Vader and HHUs and probably an AT-ST.
I do like.
Veers,
I did like
maybe?
this. I did like the HRU with now the rocket launcher and the DLT. That's impact 4, range 4.
Yep.
Depending on if you've moved or not, whether that's 3 black or 3 white on the rocket.
Yeah, a little cheaper than the RT-97C.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blizzard. It's probably 2 bikes, 2 E-webs, 2 ion snows with March, 2 Flamer Snows with March, Veers for aims, and I already said Vader. What am I missing? The 2 HRUs with heavies of your choice. And that gets you probably like the 850-ish range once you finish everything out there. So you can make the Ion Squad Super Squads if you want. That should get you pretty close. I'll push Vader, obviously, at that point price. Maybe you trim a few things and put an AT-ST so you get one of everything. Maybe you trade Veers for... Can you take Academy trained at Blizzard Force? I guess I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Great.
You can't take command and control, though.
That's a bummer. Maybe you scrap Veers, though, for an Academy trained officer who's cheaper and gives you some dodge tokens on top of the aims. I don't know. I haven't played Blizzard. I miss Blizzard. Those were days.
Yep.
Those were days.
I do not miss the old
days.
panic rules with Blizzard.
Yeah.
We'd retreat to the nearest board edge.
I just
Colton killed my Obi-Wan doing that. I had him too close to the board edge, panicked him, gone. So it was.
They were.
I learned
good times.
It was good times. All I remember was there was a prominent network that had put out an article when the Battle Forces first dropped, saying that they were nothing but miserable garbage and no one should ever play them, and it's terrible for the game. And I took Blizzard Force to Nova, and I think during the heat I had 100% MOV because I was MOV days, and then day 2, my one loss to Mike Berry again. Man, I finally got a win against him at Crucible this year, but other than that, I think I'm 1-4 against him in my career. It's not pretty, but I lost to him, but then went 100% MOV in the other 2 games, and suddenly the certain article writer only played Blizzard Force for the next 9 months. So
it's tough. It's tough to be out early, but yeah, the Battle Force, Blizzard Force was pretty.
It was gnarly, especially when you could take
strong.
Operative Vader. The change to Commander Vader only was a great change. I think it really brought the Battle Force into balance. But these days, the command cards are not as splashy as they used to be. When cover canceled 2 off the top, no matter what. That Bombard card was really good because you're throwing 8 dice into no cover with suppressive. Now that it's a neat trick, but it's not a good trick anymore. The Spur card still really good. Unrelenting Fire, which is the 1-pip, pretty decent. I don't think you're taking it though if you're taking Vader. I think if you're not taking Implacable and Vader's Might, and if you're in Blizzard specifically, you're probably doing it wrong.
Before we totally move away, I did want to ask something about Tempest, right?
Yeah.
Kind of for newer players. I think when you see 3 AT-STs across the table, it's intimidating.
It is.
And then when they scout 2 onto the board, it's even more intimidating.
They're in your face.
You think you're hidden, but all of a sudden they're real close and they can look over that terrain you were LOS hiding behind. What's your advice for playing against that? Typically, I feel like I go for just try to kill everything else.
Yeah, so this is the advice I give, especially to newer players, against any vehicle heavy list, and this applies to any of the triple vehicle lists that are out there right now. Just kill the thumbs. And what I mean by that is all of the trooper based models. Just kill them. There is nothing durable in Tempest Force, right? It's all scout troopers. Like, yes, they have low profile. But you should be able to push enough dice through to take them out. And Legion is a game where you can win with not a lot of pieces on the board. You have to be doing something truly amazing to win with just 3 AT-STs on board. I don't like your odds of doing that. So just take out everything that isn't an AT-ST and you're in a pretty good spot.
So probably if you can, grab an objective where they got to spread out and can't just hide the rest of the army behind the AT-STs.
Grab your recover the research, grab shifting priorities, grab, I think outflank could actually be devastating for the AT-ST lists right now with Tempest. You got options.
Okay. And then, we touched on Blizzard a little bit. And then I guess the last one we wanted to hit on was Vader Krennic soup that's floating around. Everyone seems to have their own little recipe for that.
Middle management with Vader kind of thing, or
I mean, there's two different ways. You bring up middle management, which is I think a list I coined to you, or I coined the name a while back, where it's just Krennic plus other officer plus bounty hunter plus other operative and just all the core in the world. You can get that sucker up to 15, 16 activations if you really want to. And it just overwhelms your opponent with numbers. That's really nice. The list, Randy, I think you're kind of pointing towards, and it was really, really popular, or the version I'm thinking of was really popular. That was Krennic Vader triple dewback. That abused turn 2 new ways to motivate them and a single HQ uplink to just charge 3 dewbacks. I think it's like 28 inches up the board, which is 4 range ruler sticks plus 4. So not bad. Turns out going speed 2 3 times on a dewback base gets you places. It's good, but it doesn't wow me in today's meta. Now, don't get me wrong, flamethrower stocks are through the roof right now. There's super squads running around everywhere. Cassian super squad, flamethrower that sucker. It sucks. I hate playing Cassian super squads. But I think Vader Krennic is incredibly strong, but I do think the days of the triple lizard are coming to a close. People kind of figured out how to play around it. It's not as surprising as it was. Because this game goes through fluctuations, right? Like you have the old guard that have been playing since day one. They're going to play through till the very bitter end, right? And then you have influxes of new players all the time. Like we saw it with the starters. We saw it with 2-6 starting. I'm sure we'll see it again the next time something new and fancy comes out, right? I expect the High Council pack and the High Command pack to really bring in new players because they're going to be like, oh, I can play Thrawn. Oh, I can play Mace Windu. Like, I want to get into that game because those are cool characters. So when you have these pools of newer players that haven't seen the tricks that worked 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and you bring those tricks back out and you hit them with it, you're going to find success. But, we wax and wane through lists for a reason within Legion, right? The meta is always changing. There's a rock, paper, scissor that, if rock's strong, paper is going to be coming right up. Once paper's strong, scissors is making a comeback. I think the age of throwing 3 dewbacks at people's faces is out, and bringing 3 saber tanks is somehow in. So we'll see. Adepticon is going to be a wild ride. Selfish plug here, but I think Cherokee Open could be a good example beforehand. So come out to Cherokee, North Carolina and play with us February. But
20th to the 22nd?
Yeah.
What are the dates on that?
Sorry.
No, please. Oh, please. I'm surprised we haven't got to it this far. So
No. It's 21st and 22nd. It's 5 rounds Swiss. 20th for open play, starting at 4 p.m. So
awesome.
Yeah, come out. Good time. I think we're up to 34 players so far.
Nice. Yeah.
So, and we still have over a month for registrations. So, or actually, today we're at a month for registrations. So
yeah, I think because I don't know if there's another big GT before Adepticon, so I think a lot of it's going to be a lot of things are going to come out of Cherokee that are kind of, oh, okay, this is what Adepticon's going to be like. So.
I'm hoping so. I mean, so it wasn't last year; it was the year before, where Tyler brought forth EXD and won Cherokee and showed that off there. We saw how that went at Adepticon the following month, right? 3 out of the 4 lists that made it to the end were his EXD list with like maybe 2 upgrade changes. So yeah, I do think there is a history of Cherokee being the final testing ground before Adepticon for those that are able to make it. So
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, waxing and waning lists, we're in a meta that is ever changing. And man, once this new objective pack comes out, we're going to be in the Wild West yet again. And once Asmodee figures out their production and shipping schedules and we get the new product that has been announced, things are going to get real exciting real fast.
It's going to be a real good time. Oh man. Well, I think that's a pretty good coverage of, like, I would say the highlights of Empire there, whether you're playing it and what to look for when you're trying to play into these more competitive lists that you're seeing out of Empire right now. So I hope whether you are a big Empire supporter or wish death upon the Empire, you enjoy that. We're able to glean some stuff from it. But before we let Richard go, we're going to dig out our trowels and bricks and continue to build the command card Tower of Power. And we mentioned him here at the end. Mr. Krennic is going to submit his cards for addition. So I don't think Richard got to look at this list ahead of time, and that's perfectly fine. It's very Who's Line, the points are made up and so are the questions. And but typically what we like to do is we'll just start with the card and then we look at the list and say, is it better than that card? We say yes, and then we
Moment
go up
of
a little
consideration is in 4.
This has become my favorite part.
This is the best
And
part.
so people are like,
Yes.
what? Now,
Moment
So
of
remember,
consideration's higher than training your Jedi arts and I Am No Jedi.
Hey, this was put in before the bike. In our defense.
Okay.
Not in our defense.
but-
We
but-
do pretty much just bow down to whoever's on the show and they tell us the cards.
Absolutely.
Let's go with
So
it.
before we get into Krennic's cards, if you would like to make an adjustment to the current tower,
Yeah.
we may do so.
Listen, training your Jedi arts needs to bump up probably to number 2 or 3. Just based on what, I mean, let's be honest, Wheelbike Grievous is terrorizing everywhere right now, right?
Yeah.
Like that is a problem that if you are going to Adepticon, you need to have an answer for.
I totally
I
agree with
definitely
the
agree with
wheel
that.
bike. Yeah.
Better than we do what we do? Yeah.
Yeah.
I Am No Jedi. That's
With
that's
Wheelbike
Ahsoka's
Grievous?
card,
Yeah.
right? That's
You
Ahsoka's.
darn right it is.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking that was Luke's 3-pip, which is I Am a Jedi.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
we haven't done him yet.
okay. I was gonna say, where's that on here?
Yeah. That's the best part of the list. It's not comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's
we just
unstuck
kinda
in
bounce
time.
around.
So thank you for anything else that's wildly out of date.
Play at 13 seems out of place to me. I'm willing to hear you out on that.
The generics were extremely high starting because they were the first ones we did.
Mhm.
And so there's just some remnants of what do you call it? Being first to the playground, I guess.
Mhm. I mean, I even see
I think that's probably
you've
good.
got the old Wookiee command card names versus the new
so
ones.
Matt did that so we can't remember what they are, so they will stay firmly fixed.
I can tell
into
you
the tower.
36 is the 2-pip. I know that.
Hey,
Ooh.
And I
don't tell
believe
them our secrets.
27 is the 1-pip.
I think so.
I played a lot of Wookiees. I should
Richard
know
is a
this.
man of culture.
Yeah, he's a Wookiee player, so he knows.
Richard, I do have to ask: is Attack of Clones too low? Does it need to be higher?
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly the best card of the game.
That is the best. Attack of the Clones, I think, is the best of the generic faction command cards in the game.
It's not fair, Mitchem. It got better. It got better though. That's not fair, Mitchem. A year ago, it did suck more, but now it got better. They took all the surges away.
When you had aggressive tactics, maybe, but
this is definitely pre-aggressive tactics when we put it down there.
Yeah. This has.
Yeah. It was. I'm pretty sure it was in the top
interesting.
10 for a little bit, and then I've slowly gotten beaten down over the years, over the year. So,
Here, I'll do this. I'll do this for you.
Yes.
Yeah, this is an interesting list.
Every time you say that, you're saying the list sucks, and that's okay.
Well, no. So one of the things that I am adamant about, right, is that each pocket is its own subculture and like mini meta of the game, right?
Yeah.
How Legion is played in North Carolina is very different than how it's played in Oklahoma or Indiana or the DC area or the West Coast, let alone the international play, right? And so it's always fascinating to me to see what is preferred by different local groups versus something else.
And what's funny is when we have a guest on, they bring a bit of that into the list rankings. So,
yeah, if you can't tell, we had LJ on pretty early on, so that's why Fear, Surprise, and Intimidation has been number one on our list forever, because he talked us all into how good Dooku was. And honestly,
it's good.
To be fair,
it's a really good card.
Of what you have ranked so far, I do think it is in the top 3. Maybe not necessarily number 1, but it's definitely in the top 3.
Yeah, it's really good.
Richard, shall we start with the 3-pip or the 1-pip?
Let's start with a 3-pip.
Okay. Annihilation Looms. It's a 3-pip. You can order Director Orson Krennic and 2 units. Each trooper unit on the battlefield gains 2 suppression tokens. Then if it is round 4 or 5, each trooper unit gains 1 additional suppression token. Very important words here is on the battlefield.
Paying for the sins of its past.
It was pretty sinful, to be fair.
It was really good. It was it made Bring Them to Heal just an auto ban there for a little bit. So.
One of the few command cards that can just score you VP on a particular objective.
It certainly can.
It's
a double-edged sword, though, right? Because you are applying suppression to your own units as much as you are applying it to your opponent's units. Additionally, yes, it's going to score you 2 points on Bring Them to Heal. It's also going to immediately score your opponent 2 points on Bring Them to Heal. So there's a level of good and bad here. I love Annihilation Looms as a tempo slower, especially like on a turn 2 or a turn 3, especially turn 2. Can't forget that Krennic has Cunning, so this does break ties in your favor. You have Compel anyone, so even if you are suppressing them, you are still being able to move, so you still basically keep your action efficiency. I think it's a pretty solid card. I would put it higher than most things on this list personally. Getting up into
does it help having Commander Vader in the list too, with the infinite courage to share? So
yeah,
but you're not panicking anybody, or
I don't. If you're taking Commander Vader and Krennic, like I said, personally, I don't do well with Force users. That's just who I am as a person. I'm too aggressive with my playstyle. So I normally have like a generic officer with Courage 3 next to Krennic somewhere around anyway, usually with Inspire 4 on them. So it's one of those situations where Courage doesn't really matter still. And like I said, I have Compel. I've been taking DTF 16 on the Death Trooper instead of the DLT Knight or DLT something. I think it's 19D. So instead of that way, I have 2 bubbles that I can compel from. It's pretty effective. It still gives you that movement tempo and hopefully is slowing down your opponent. I think this is a strong candidate for somewhere between like 10 and 14. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Is it? I don't know if it's better than size matters sometimes.
I think it probably is. As someone who's played Size Matters sometimes a lot, and maybe that's just where we're at with Yoda Chewie. I'm kind of down on Yoda Chewie.
You don't really see it much anymore.
I'm kind of down on it lately. I
I'm
like the
almost
card.
thinking that No Time for Sorrow might be better than Size Matters sometimes. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe that's not true.
I'm kind of. I'd put it above Size Matters sometimes. I don't know about Reptilian Rampage. That'd be a Randy question, maybe.
The problem there is that they do.
They're so different.
Very different things. Yeah.
I mean, Reptilian Rampage can still score you. I mean, it's not. It can still score you a point with bounty. So, like, you're still scoring VPs with it.
Well, and you're putting out force suppression. So
and you're putting out force suppression. Yeah. You're just not suppressing the entire army, but and yourself.
I could see it as the new 13.
I'm okay with
the
that.
only thing about No Time for Sorrows going down is like Lando exists. Getting speed moves on your troops and rebels is a lot. There's
movement tricks are really.
I'm gonna push back just a little bit here. How often are we seeing Leia on the table these days?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because she's been replaced by a rebel officer.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's fair.
I love our princess, but our general.
I like that card a lot, but
she's just she's fallen a little bit behind the times right now.
We're getting 10-year-old Leia instead of New Hope Leia.
Hey, she's getting a new model. Maybe people will want to show her off, put her back in the list. Model. So, all right, I'm good with that. If the council is good with Annihilation, Looms is our new number 13.
I'll take it. Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's deploy the Garrison. It's our 2-pip.
You're using Tabletop Admiral instead of HQ2.
Oh my god! You're right.
I'm wounded. Bring us on.
So no. Mitchem is a HQ2, and it's just a holdover.
Look at critical block.
I think they're both good.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's whichever one you did first is the one you end up being
100%. And credit to Andrew, who does the Tabletop Admiral. He's incredible at what he does. I don't know how that man codes as fast as he does, but I'll have just seen what was announced 10 minutes ago, and he's already like, yeah, it's up, it's done.
Yeah.
I will say we do talk with and work with them pretty closely. I am just joking. He is amazing.
No, we got to play it out.
Now we're gonna.
He's so nice and really good at the Middle Earth strategy battle game as well. Because he comes down.
Your impact on command tower powers. Now we're going to use Legion HQ2 every time we do this.
I feel bad. I was like, how do I show command cards?
It's a user error. It's a user error, not an interface error.
He did good because there was at one point I almost switched, but then he added dark mode to Admiral. Okay.
I mean, listen. Any issues you have with it, I think you're having Travis on to talk about something later. Yell at him. He's our developer.
No, I think it's good, and I think you guys have. He's done some good stuff since the takeover of it. So
thank you.
Yeah, and having more than one, always good.
Always good. Always competition good. Is good. It's not even competition. None of us are getting paid for this. We just do it to support the community we love.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true.
More cloud points. Okay, 2 trooper units at the start of this round's activation. Choose up to 2 allied trooper units that have face-up order tokens. Each chosen unit may make a free standby action. Standbys are cool.
Now, I have to ask a very important question here. because where I will lobby for this card to be is going to be entirely dependent on your answer. Are we taking these command cards in a vacuum, or are we taking them in the context of important list building options around them?
Yes.
That's a great question. And really, we will argue both in the same like sentence. It'll be like because we'll say like in a vacuum, this is a great card, and it's like, well, but in the like what the character it's attached to, like who's playing this?
That's usually how we make tiebreakers, right? Is
who it's
so
attached
like
to.
we start by ranking it in a vacuum, and then when we're trying to compare it to individual cards, it's where it's like currently sitting.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think in a vacuum, this is a very average card, right? It's a 2-pip. You get 2 troopers. Whoop-de-doo. You get 2 standby tokens. And it doesn't have to be a unit issued an order with this card, which is really nice because if you bounce orders around through like Gideon Hast or not Exemplar, Entourage or Coordinate, you got options, right? Death Troopers get a name when they get a standby. That's neat. You can put a standby on Commander Vader who can't have it stripped because he's Courage Infinite. That's pretty neat. So you do have some of these interesting things that you can do with the standby tokens. Again, Krennic is cunning, so this is a tiebreaker 2-pip, which is really nice. In a vacuum, it's an okay card. Probably in like your 15 to 17 range, maybe.
Okay.
Now, on the table, we've talked about how you're bringing a generic commander agent a good chunk of the time. They've been a center of discussion. And one of the things you can take for 8 points is command control uplink, which reduces the pip of a command card by 1 once per game, which means you suddenly have access to 2 cunning 1 pips with Krennic. And a cunning 1 pip, you have that ranked as number 1 on your list. Granted, Fear Surprise does other things as well. Don't get me wrong. Arsenal and Relentless on Dooku, pretty good. But cunning 1 pips are game-winning momentum right there. The ability to put an order on Vader and guarantee that he goes first off of a 2-pip. Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
I see what you're going with. See, this is why we always get convinced to put people's cards where they want.
People are just so compelling.
That's a good argument. Okay, so
when we started this, there weren't all these new fancy Empire upgrades and like good command control link and stuff like that. So like we didn't even.
Okay, where are you wanting this to go?
I don't think it pierces the top 10 for me.
Okay.
I'm more inclined to view it as a vacuum.
I was going to say maybe I think it'd be better than Size Matter sometimes. I mean, just thinking about it, they're both 2 pips. I even want to play Size Matter sometimes, some games, because I want to play Yoda cards instead. I don't know.
It was units, right? Okay.
Yeah, 2 troopers.
No, 2 troopers.
2 troopers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I still value movement gimmicks over standby. I mean, I know you can move with a standby.
Cunning 1 pip. Cunning 1 pip.
That's not the argument right now, Matt.
Cunning 1 pip is really spicy.
It's a good argument.
This is what he does to us. We bring him on and he tears us apart.
We haven't even gotten to the cunning 1 pip yet.
So, we just ranked Annihilation Looms. Do you think it's a better card than Annihilation Looms?
In a vacuum, no, I would put it underneath it. With command and control uplink, yes, I would put it above it. So I'll leave that to your tier list there.
I'd put it above Size Matter sometimes. As someone who's played a lot of Yoda Chewie, I've played more Yoda Chewie than maybe everybody but Richard here.
I haven't
how
played
much.
Yoda 2D.
Well, then I
once.
played the most Yoda 2. I say put it above. I put it above Seismic sometimes.
I cannot stress how much I don't play Force users. I can't stress that enough.
It's
You
not
don't like-
just a gimmick, guys.
You don't like putting
yeah.
400 points in 2 units and then running it across the board and see what happens?
Nope.
And then them die.
My
Okay,
red-
well, you won't like Yoda 2.
My red saves are not good enough for that.
Oh man.
Respect. Okay. And that was
Okay.
it, right? There's no other. Oh, wait. There's a cunning one pip.
Oh.
We were going to talk about it, right?
Mhm.
See, I don't know what I'm doing.
Show
There we
more,
go.
baby. There it is.
The Voracious Ambition, it's Krennic's one pip at the start of the round's activation phase. Place 3 random order tokens from your order pool face down on this card. You may look at these order tokens at any time. When you would draw an order token from your order pool, you may choose one of the order tokens on this card and use that token instead. I am a lover of ploy.
Mhm.
This is better ploy.
Significantly better play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
And it
card,
also gives Krennic an order, correct?
Hey,
So it's really
gives Krennic an order.
you have some control over 4 orders,
Mhm.
Yeah.
potentially
And I-
more.
And if you
It's
order,
really spicy too with improvised orders.
Mhm.
Because if you don't like, you can then pull something that you know. You don't have to random draw again.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it's a cunning one pip.
And it's a cunning one.
And it's cunning
And-
one pip.
in a world where Han plays a 0 pip, it's a cunning 0 pip.
It's a cunning 0 pick. I still can't wrap my mind around that.
It makes Han very sad. But in all seriousness, right? Cunning 1 pips are very good. We just discussed how they can help win a game. They can be a make or break moment with that key piece.
Yeah.
The ability to put 3 tokens onto the card, and if you are giving out enough orders and shifting things around enough, you should have decent order control in most lists, especially if this is coming out usually like turn 3, turn 4 at the very latest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options that you have with this.
How often are you getting quote unquote screwed from this card by just drawing 3 just bad draws? I feel like that doesn't happen very often. I mean, because you're able to do all your directing and like coordinating
Yeah.
and stuff before you draw the 3, right?
Yes.
So you can you can basically pick and choose what you're putting on this if you play
Yeah.
it correctly. Okay.
So it's a little weird of a question for me specifically, because I'm addicted to order control ever since I played Wookiees. And so
Yeah, I feel that Wookiee
Yeah.
chat understands. I've
It's
played
bad.
games now. I feel like a year and a half I can activate whoever I wanted the whole game
whenever I
and
want
now I gotta draw from a bag.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How
You
dare
guys
I?
just got to embrace the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Randy's over there, improvise
That's how
orders,
Legion's
improvise
meant to be.
orders.
Yeah,
This is how it's meant to be played.
So normally I am fixing my bag enough that when I draw those 3 random tokens, I'm getting one of the things that I want, right?
Okay.
Like if I'm bringing 2 operatives, let's say I'm bringing Din Op Vader, right? I'm getting one of the operative tokens more often than not that are going on this card.
Gotcha.
I have my choice of which one that it is.
Yeah.
But there's usually something worthwhile going on there.
Gotcha.
And if
Gotcha.
not, like, let's say all I did was draw 3 core and I put it on the card. Well, I've usually got a copy of improvised orders and I go to my bag, there's 3 less core in there. So if I only had 7 tokens in my bag to start, I remove 3 and I get to draw 2. I'm probably finding what I want anyway. So
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Yeah. I just wanted, I didn't understand that the risk is probably a lot less than what I initially thought
Yeah.
of this card. And so I always kind of thought it wasn't as good as people said, but it sounds like the reward is a lot more and the risk is a lot less
yes,
than what I
100%.
initially was calculating.
100%.
What minor calculations I do in this game.
Listen,
So we all
math is
agree it's
important.
better than the Ahsoka card.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So-
for sure.
I personally think this is your new number 4. I don't think it's better than Trained in Your Jedi Arts, but I do think it's better than everything else that you have between 4 and 7. It's definitely better than Moment of Consideration. I'll give you that. I can tell you that straight up.
So at that point, you're just saying that the unit cards of the first 3 units are just better at that point.
Yes.
Like Yoda is better, Dooku's unit card is better, and then Grievous Wheelbike, I guess, is better.
Yeah. So Dooku's 1 pip is also a Cunning 1 pip that gives you a massive damage spike. It's Dooku's dive card. Dooku by himself can win you entire games. Yeah. So I do that's clearly better. Luminous Beings, the versatility you get, the token generation you get, no argument in my mind that is just incredibly good.
Yeah.
Training your Jedi Arts right now, I think maybe overall isn't a better card, but right now, given the current circumstances of what we're dealing with, it's just so damn good. Like, I don't know how there's no way around it. It just is very, very strong. We Do What We Do is a very, very strong command card, but Bad Batch has fallen off a little bit from what we're seeing right now. And on top of that, when you do see Bad Batch, you don't really see We Do What We Do anymore. People are bringing other 3 pips.
Yeah. And I wonder if part of it, because I know when we ranked it, that was before a lot of units had not gotten their points reductions that we've been seeing. We've been seeing a lot of characters go down in points, right? So that comparison of Bad Batch at 150 points, there was a lot of other characters that were a lot closer to 150 points at that time. No longer the case. So, I mean, I think that being said, I see that argument.
I like it at 4.
Sure.
I think that's a very good argument.
Okay.
Love it.
We've got Voracious Ambition as our new number 4 between Trained in Your Jedi Arts and We Do What We Do beneath that. We've got Deploy the Garrison down here at 13 after Repto Rampage and above Size Matters Sometimes. And then just a little bit below that, we've got Annihilation Looms at 15. Pretty good showing from Krennic here.
Seems strong.
And this weird microcosm of Legion of just the units we happen to have on here, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
How many cards are we at on the tower officially?
60.
You got a long way to go.
It feels like there's so many to do.
That is a drop in the bucket.
This is the segment we will milk forever.
There you go.
But you know what? I feel like it actually ends up working to at least like talk about the cards in a semi-interesting way. So I like it.
We need to have like great rearranging at some point where we go back and like revise the list what we have now based on like current events.
Do it at like a close of the year special. After Adepticon, before like the new season starts up, as like a April
should do it
thing.
Live at a bar at Adepticon. You could just have like physical cards and just let people
like
argue
slamming
about
cards
it.
down. Yeah, no.
That's
one way. That's one way. So,
Richard, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely,
this was
my pleasure.
Awesome. Super appreciate you coming and helping us enlist into the greater purpose of the Galactic Empire. Let's hit any plugs. We brought it up briefly. Cherokee Open in February. If you are in the area or you feel like traveling, go and confirmation bias your list for Adepticon or go and play and then throw all your minis in the trash and get something new.
You got options.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go, but I'm very interested to see what happens as far as the event.
Yeah, is anyone streaming that one?
No, we don't. Okay. We don't have anyone streaming that this year. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if you want to find more of the content we produce, find our YouTube channel, find our podcast, Crit Block, Legion HQ 2. Obviously, we talked about that. If you have any problems with it, email Travis, add him on the Discord. I don't know. No, I guess you can find me. The message will get to him, but
yeah.
What else? If you just end up in North Carolina, we usually have a tournament going on somewhere in the state every month. So, come find us, come play with us. We've got a great crew across the entire state. I'm really proud of them. Feel free to join our Discord if you want. There's always something going on in there. So yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yeah, and I will say they're going through the factions, focusing on list building. They always do great stuff around list building. So
it won't be 2 hours.
Sure.
I'll tell you that for sure.
Definitely make sure you're checking. We're just loosey goosey here.
They run a tighter ship around there.
They also just started their Crypt Block tournament for battle reports and stuff. I just watched the first one that was released either today or yesterday or whenever we filmed this. So it's probably been a week now.
Yeah.
So go watch that. That was really fun. It was a really good battle report. Rebels versus droids. Lots of Cassian super fleets action, and there was an epic flamethrower shot. And it kind of turned the whole tide of the game. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Y'all's tables are really cool too.
Thank you. Yeah,
I really enjoy those.
Tyler put a lot of love and effort into that Dathomir table, and it is a sight to behold in person. I'll tell you that.
Amazing. Mitch or Matt, anything you want to hit?
Nope. If you made it this far, congratulations. Hopefully you learned something.
There was a tournament that just happened this past weekend. We'll talk about it more, I guess, later.
At some point.
So at some point, yeah. So yeah, that's all I have.
There's like a future plug that is not. There we go.
I know, yeah.
Which
he woke up at 4 this morning.
It's a retroactive plug. If you are a time traveler, go back and play in the event.
Thanks for listening. And this has been the X-1 Legion cast. And just remember that X&O is just a great Empire list away. See ya.
See ya.